Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's exciting. It's our first podcast.
The number one, the numero uno, the first one.
It's very,
Yes, it is.
very exciting. Yeah, like it's kind of crazy because I feel like we've talked about this for
At
years, like
least 3 years. At
at
least
least
three.
three, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think for those who've hung out with us for a while, like Claire used to always say, I just want to record your conversations. And and I
Yeah.
feel like
So for
how
those who don't know, Claire used to be one of our admin assistants, part of the team, and absolutely phenomenal. Miss you, Claire. But yeah, she'd often say that again. You guys have that conversation again. That's awesome. We've got to record that.
yeah. So I think yeah, we decided okay, now's the time. We're gonna like jump on the trend of the podcast
Hmm.
and just kind of record what we think and record what our conversations are like because I
Hmm.
do think we have some pretty neat conversations
Hmm.
um in the space that we work in the space we don't work in. Like we just I don't know, we just
Yeah.
we talk about a lot of stuff.
Well, the funny part is that I think the perception that we give off is that we agree on absolutely everything and we have this absolutely phenomenal relationship, which we do,
Yeah.
but we don't agree on everything.
No.
And the conversations, like we learn so much from one another that, yeah, it's okay, let's let other people in on them.
Yeah, and I think like and I know that that's something we talk about all the time is like the world has just sort of lost the ability to disagree. It's like like everyone needs to like it's like this weird it's like either on one side we just don't say anything because you don't want to disagree and like because you don't want to be canceled, so there's this like
Hmm.
fear of speaking. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
on the
yeah.
other side it's like I must disagree with everything. and and so we're in this like weird world and we talk about it a lot where it's like but what do we like where'd the healthy debate go, where'd the conversation and ability to disagree go, like and that it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah. It's the interesting thing is that when I was a kid, like I grew up in a fairly traditional Jamaican household. And so
Mhm.
when I was a kid, if you disagreed with your parent or something like that, that was like, no, you do not do that. You're
Yeah.
going to get a spanking. We called it a licking back then, right? My parents were very nice. They weren't abusive. I promise. But but the thing
Mhm.
is, so as I grew up and got into just friendships and relationships and everything, disagreement was a scary thing for
Yeah.
me. It really was. It was a scary thing for me. And it took practice, a lot of practice. And even now, sometimes I'm uncomfortable, but I understand now that it's healthy. It's part of the growth of a relationship and of a business and all those things.
Yeah, and I think in like in society today there's l- the level of I feel like I've made this word up today. I keep saying contrarianism. I don't even know if it's a word. I think but
It's
the
okay.
level of people being contrarian is is so high that it's almost like I don't know, like I feel like and many people who talk to me know how I feel about social media and the internet and all those things. But I feel like because we've got these keyboard warriors now who just
Mm-hmm.
have stuff to say because nobody's talking back to them, that it's
Mm-hmm.
like I often say just because it's in your head doesn't mean it needs to come out loud. Like there are times where it's actually okay to not say what you think too. Like like
Mm-hmm.
both things can be true.
Yeah. And there's ways of saying, you're a jerk without saying, you're a jerk. Like
Yes.
we just need to learn language.
Yes. Well, and even like on some of the I know there's a couple women who I follow on social media who like influencers, like people who are the big ones. And the number of comments on like their bodies or their makeup or
Mm,
things like that, like negative things, where I'm like, so you just had the energy inside of you that said, I'm gonna go onto her page and tell her she's lost too much weight. Like that needed to come out
yeah.
today? Okay.
Yeah. You're right. There are things that do not need to be said. Like it's none
Yeah.
of, but for what purpose?
Hmm.
Like for what purpose? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I hear you.
So yeah, so here we are.
Yeah.
So we've picked fun topics. We're just going to talk about stuff that we talk about, stuff that our clients talk about, stuff that we're seeing as we're meeting with
Yeah.
clients, and
Yeah.
figured
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, our topic today is about the myth of the nice girl,
Hmm.
right? So, what do you think, Mel? Because I know you have an opinion,
Hmm.
an opinion on this one. The myth of the nice girl. Like, if you're not nice, then you are, or no, sorry, if you have boundaries, then you're not nice.
Hmm.
If you disagree, just as we were just talking, if you disagree, then you're not being nice, right? And there's this myth that especially girls
Hmm.
have to be nice and
Nice.
agreeable.
Yeah, and it's interesting because this one for me almost goes in a couple different directions, right? Like there's the one part of me that um I've had many people tell me I'm not the nice girl, and so I've been told that I'm too aggressive. I've been told that because I'm assertive in my leadership style, that I want to be a man, and like some of these things. So like there's that one side of me that it's like, why can't I act like myself? Why when I act like why do we gender it at all, right? Like it because to me
Mm,
it's not even why is it even gendered? And so
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I've kind of got that one side, but then the other side of me also like is the side that will think about like women feeling like they can't lead because they don't have the personality that I have. And so
Mm,
it's like, well, I can't be nice and lead. And so I see both sides where I'm like, no, no, but you can. But just because you're not doesn't mean you're not nice. Like that's the
mhm.
it I think we could there's lots of things in this conversation. What do
Yeah.
you think
Well, I think we have to come to an agreement of what nice is,
though?
right? To
Mm,
me, nice is being respectful. Nice is
mhm,
being kind. Nice is being thoughtful, right?
yeah.
Those are things that leaders need,
Yeah.
right?
And well, and also like, yeah, why is nice bad?
Right. And I think the problem is that there's this misconception that to be nice means you have to be agreeable,
Mhm,
that you need to be passive. And
yeah,
I do not believe that those are the characteristics of what nice is. That doesn't
yeah.
define nice.
Well, and then is it even around like um just sort of the definition of even girl, right? Like that
Mm,
like sugar and spice and everything nice, right? Like it's
right, 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 right.
like that side of things where it's like it's nice equals sweet and nice equals like like sugar and spice and everything nice. Like
Yeah.
like that whole
Well, you don't,
side.
when you think about it, if someone's describing a man,
Mhm.
right, they're not necessarily using the word nice,
Mm.
right?
No.
They'll
They would
say,
say
"Oh,
kind.
kind or fair or yeah,
Mhm.
he's a good guy to work for, right? Where
Yeah.
with women, we're saying, "Oh, she's nice. You'll get along with her. She'll be fine. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
Like, hmm.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is nice guy. Like if somebody were to say, "Hey, Jen, I want you to meet this nice guy," like there's almost a negative tone to that. Like he's a really nice guy. The automatic people, like if you, and again, we're shifting more into like relationships and dating versus work. But if somebody were to say to you, "Hey, he's a really nice guy," we all know the automatic thought. Or if somebody were to say they're a really nice girl, the automatic thought goes to, "Well, then they're not attractive." Like it's that like
But
personality,
they're
right?
nice
Like
though. But they're nice
they're
though.
not, but they're nice, but they're nice. Like it's almost like do it, but it's good. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's interesting, but you're right. Like I think when you're talking about like how are we defining nice? Like what does that mean? It's a really interesting place to go because and I'd be curious like culturally, do we define it differently in North America than in other
Mm,
places?
yeah. Yeah.
right? Like I think about my time in Africa, and kindness is common. Like it's I say to people all the time when I come home, I'm like they're kind people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not kind, that would be looked down upon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cherished there,
Mm-hmm.
where I don't think it is here.
Often there's this time of year where they say something about kindness and do one small kind act or
Like a small act of kindness.
small act of kindness, right? And anytime I used to see those posts, I would be immediately on and say, why does it
Mm,
have to be a small act of kindness? Why can't we just be kind? Period.
yeah, yeah,
Like, why can't we just be nice? Period. So,
yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Well, and I think if we think about this in a workplace scenario, right? Like it's that whole concept of if you're liked, then like can you be liked and respected? Can you be liked and drive performance? Can you be liked and get the results and create
Hmm.
the future leaders?
Hmm.
And I'm hopeful that we're moving in a direction where the answer to that question is yes. But I would question if there's a lot of workplaces that still don't see it that way.
Well, and I think we have to be careful that just because you're not liked doesn't mean that you're not nice, doesn't mean that you're not
Mhm.
kind, right? And so when we look at women who are labeled as difficult, what is it that's making
Mhm.
them difficult? What is it really? That because they have boundaries? Is it because they aren't going to that like they're deciding, okay, I've got to get to my ballet class or my choir rehearsal or whatever at this time. So I'm not going to be able to go to that meeting. And
Mm,
then it's like, so again, I think when people aren't getting their way,
mm,
right, then there's this belief that they're not nice because they're not doing
yeah,
what I want.
yeah. Well, and I think if you can think about what you were just talking about, like with the difficult or aggressive or like those words, as somebody who's been labeled all of them, they like in those situations, um, it's almost yeah, like those are the opposite of nice, right? Like those are the it's like if you don't fit the box. If
Mhm.
we've painted this box of what women in leadership should look like, and they should be caring, and they should be empathetic, and they should be all of those things. But I don't know why we can't get past the idea that I can be all of those things and actually still be assertive
Mhm.
and still have boundaries and like what it's
Yeah.
the why does it
Yeah.
have to be one or the other?
Yeah. As someone who has been labeled nice, so I'm the opposite, right? So people say, "Oh, Jen Slay, she's so nice." Da, 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 da. Like I've heard this narrative,
Mhm.
but because of that, there's this thought that I'm not strong, or
Mm,
I can't be assertive, or I just lead in a different way,
yeah.
right? And that doesn't and that doesn't mean I'm a pushover. It doesn't mean that you can walk all over me. At one time it did. Admittedly, at one time it did, but it doesn't now. And I think um we we have these biases in our mind of what nice is, and we're
Mhm.
socialized. If you think of girls, we're socialized to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Little girls are supposed to be well behaved.
Yeah. It's like what you were talking about your friend's daughter today. Like we were just talking having this conversation
Yeah.
before, right? That they wanted to diagnose her ADHD,
Mhm.
and it was like, well, she's just acting like any small boy would act, little boy would act. So why is it ADHD for her and not for little
And
Joey down the street?
just being a boy. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and those are the things, right? And I think what's interesting is like, and we talked about this the other day, like I feel you have far better boundaries than I do in so many ways. Like, and so which is interesting, right? Because again, if you're the one who's labeled as nice and I'm the one who's not, and but
And
you have
can we be clear? You are very nice, Val. You're very nice. Just can we be
um
clear?
but intense. It's okay. Um, but but I think but like you have far better boundaries than me. And like to me, like I said to you recently, I said like, you know, I'm kind of like I'm jealous of your ability to set boundaries because it's what I aspire to have, but I'm just not good at it. And I know I'm not good at it because I take too much on and I say yes to too many things. And I'm really passionate about connection. And to me, one of the greatest things that I can do for people is to connect them with people who can help them move a step ahead, get the next job, find the next sale, whatever that is. I'm a big connector. And so and so connecting tends to lead to a lot of coffees and lunches and and
Mhm.
stuff. And so I take too much on because of that. And so it's yeah, but it's interesting because again, I don't see boundary setting connected to either like to either thing. To me, it's a skill, it's a competency. And again, why are we connecting that to somebody's leadership style or
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's so interesting, like just how even just how we
We label everything. Everything.
everything.
Everything. I was just thinking of that yesterday when I was driving, that everything requires a label now. Like
Mhm.
because my fiance, we were talking the other day, and he was saying I am oh gosh, what's the term? Something, he's very well dressed and he takes pride in how he
Yep.
looks, and
In
there's a
his
term for
appearance.
that. There's a term for it. Oh gosh. Something, man, a certain type of, oh shoot.
I'm like dapper. Like
No, no, no. It's like oh crap. Something metrosexual.
okay.
Metrosexual. And I'm like, why does there have to be a title? Like, you just like to look good. Like, why is it bad that you like to have a shower and smell good
Yeah.
and look good? Why why does a man who does that now have to be labeled metrosexual?
Hmm.
Why? So I say all of that just to say we put labels on every.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's yeah, and I think how much does that lead into just that natural judgment of things, right? Because now when we label something, now we and you talk about this all the time when we like when you talk about like some unconscious bias, right? Like we like to file things.
Mhm.
So but now we're creating files, right? It's almost like we're creating files that are not that are subjective files. So,
Mhm.
like, if we look at it from like an unconscious bias standpoint, like, yes, if you are a Black woman, we can put you in that file because that is a fact. Um, Again, obviously, gender somebody might not be as clear, but you identify as a Black woman, that can go in that file. I identify as a white woman, that can go in that file, right? Like those are very clear. But metrosexual or nice or whatever, like those things are subjective. So now I have to put myself, now I've decided what that file looks like for me, but you've also decided what that file looks like for you, and they might not be the same. And now we start to get really messy filing systems.
Mhm. Because we're making the assumption that your definition of nice or metrosexual or whatever the case might be is the same as mine. And if it's different, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the problem. Like when we're talking about um any of this stuff, the issue is that we're at a place where we're not able to disagree or come to a common ground of what the definition of whatever it is we're talking about is.
Yeah. So, Jen, like when you think about what did it do to you? So like you've been labeled nice. Like what did that label do for you? Like did it help you? Did it hurt you? Did it make you behave in a different way? Like what did you do with that label?
Okay, so if you're ready for a story, everybody just sit back and relax, get your coffee because it's a story.
Okay.
All right. So when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, I was very much like your friend's kid, very
Mhm.
rambunctious and out there and spoke my mind, very contrary to what a little black girl in a Jamaican household was supposed to be like. Okay. So I was often labeled, oh God, here comes Jen, right? Eyes would roll, right? And that hurts. Like, as much as, you can be proud of that little girl or little boy that's out there and speaks their mind,
Mhm.
it hurts when
Yeah.
parents are rolling their eyes or putting labels on you. One parent actually called me a bitch on wheels.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
a big statement for somebody to say about a child.
Yeah, and I was probably around 12, and that stuck with me, right? And so then I overcompensated by trying to be all things to all people
Mhm.
so that I could be liked, so that I could be considered nice, right? So then that makes you push down all of your actual feelings, and then you don't know how to disagree with people. You don't, that's a scary thing. Like,
Yeah.
literally, it's
Yeah.
scary. It was scary for there to be disagreement,
Mhm.
right? In my life. So then fast forward to my early 20s, late 20s, relationships, especially intimate
Mm.
relationships, didn't work out because I mean there's going to be conflict. In my head, if there was an argument, oh, the relationship's done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then now going into business, um, and having this label of nice, oftentimes people would think, okay, so let's, I don't think they consciously thought it, but it's like we can take advantage of this. Like, if I told you the amount of money that I've spent on different things because I was, they just fed into what they knew my insecurities were to make the
Mhm.
sale. Oh my gosh, like thousands of dollars. Anyways, so that label nice
Mhm.
later became, for me, it means I'm a pushover. And
Mhm.
so I had to go through my own reflection, my own self-awareness, therapy, all of those kinds of things to understand it's okay to be nice. It's okay to be kind. It's okay to be all of those things. That's not bad, but it's not okay to not assert your boundaries. It's not
Yeah.
okay to just let people walk all over you,
Yeah.
right? That's not okay. And even though it might, like, inside of me, it stirs up those feelings, like those scary things, my stomach starts to rumble, all of those things, that's okay,
Yeah.
right? So it was reframing, doing a lot of reframing in my own mind to be able to be okay with that label of nice. That was a long story, but I needed to.
Oh, no, it's a good one though, right? Makes me think because so funny enough, and we didn't know each other then, but when I first started leading, I wasn't as I am now. Like that's
Mm.
what's like I people would have described me as a cheerleader, like we do disc. I was all I, everything I. I had no D. I was completely on the I side because I was happy and cheered people on and look like thought that we could win by celebrating, like if we had enough fun that it would all get done. Um, and it was being in a performance driven culture that I was in, I wasn't winning that way. Like I could win to a certain point, but not all the way. And so that's when I started to shift my style. And so I like to believe that some of that's like that nice side of me, the cheerleading side of me, the celebrating side of me is still there. But it it got shifted along the way into
Mhm.
some other stuff at the same time, which is where the intense and like likes to win and I say assertive, others say aggressive. Um, those types of things come in. But I believe in the heart of it, like you've said, it's all still rooted in being nice to people and being kind to people because I just believe you can get more from people with kindness than we ever can with anything else. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, the whole idea that you can't be nice and be a good leader is something I'm super passionate about because I just really feel like we don't need to choose one or the other. We can actually be both things.
Yeah. I think what people need, so in social, I'm a social worker, right? And so one of the things we're taught in school is that people are inherently good.
Mhm.
Experiences create behaviors, people to act and behave in certain ways, right? So I really believe that people are inherently kind and nice, but their
Yeah.
life experiences have created something within them that makes them act in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's by doing the work of becoming more self-aware and being able to admit to yourself the not so great aspects of your personality that you're able to work on it. So
Mhm.
if the niceness, like in my case, the niceness was hurting me because I
Yeah.
was overly doing it, right? And so I had to reflect and do some my own personal work to be able to still be nice, but to be assertive,
Yeah.
right? And what I'm hearing you say is that, you were a very nice cheerleader, all of those kinds of things, but you too had to take a step back, see, is this working for me or is it
Mm.
not? And
Yep.
adjust. And that's okay. We can
Yeah.
adjust.
It's funny, one of the things that I've always said to leaders who've worked for me, and who I've helped develop is consistency. Like
Mhm.
I've always said consistency. Whatever your authentic self is, do that because people, especially from a leadership perspective, will always respond to consistency more than anything else. I had somebody who worked for me for a while, and she she had a strong personality and strong one. Um, and that strong personality scared a lot of her team members. And so
Mhm.
there were points of time where she said, "I want to be more like you." And so her goal, she tried to be me. But what happened in that situation was some days she was like me and she was happy and bubbly and great in that way. And then the other days she was her and those things were not the same. And so it led to the staff being scared
Yeah.
because they never knew which her were they were going to get. They never knew, like, at least I always say when you're consistently mean to people, they don't personalize it. Like, they're just like, "Oh, they're mean." Like, they put you on the mean bus, and they just go, "Oh,
Mhm.
they're a mean person," but they don't think it's their fault. When you're
Right.
inconsistently
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
now I can think it's my fault. Now I
Mhm.
can think I did something. I did something wrong. It's me. And then that's when the conflict happens. But as long as you're consistent, and so the easiest way to do that is to be authentic,
Mhm.
to me, that's actually the most powerful leadership tool.
And I think that's a great place to end because can you believe 30 minutes has gone by already?
I know it's crazy.
But authenticity, and when I wrote my first book, this is what I would write in people's, what I'd write when I was autographing, signing it, whatever. Your authenticity is your gift to the world.
Mm,
So don't rob the world of who you are,
love it.
right? And I think that's the message that we're trying to say. Be you. If you, who you are, is working for you, continue. If it's not, tweak.
Mhm.
That's what this life is all about. Tweaking, adjusting, and keep on going,
Yeah,
right? Tweak, adjust, keep going.
yeah, definitely.
You should create a meme
Definitely.
like that, Mo.
Yeah, just the tweak, adjust, keep going.
Yeah. tweak, adjust,
Okay.
keep going.
So, I guess sort of the final question then that would put out to the audience, like if we think about sort of that authenticity and everything we've talked about today, is like I would challenge people to ask themselves, like, who is my authentic self? Like what do I want to be
Mhm.
known for? What
Yeah.
type of leader do I want to be known for? And
Mhm.
how do I get there?
Yeah. That's a good one. I want to read some comments on that one. I would love to
Definitely.
read some comments on that one.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Till
always a
next time.
pleasure. Bye, everyone.
Bye.